Welcome! If you are watching this video, then obviously you found our class page. It looks a little bit different than it does in this video, so I've added a few things, but this is the basic outline of how our course Schoology page works. Right here you can see it's a Google Slides presentation, and this is really important because every day this is going to update with the objective and all the things you're expected to do for the day. So when you get into the course, this is the first thing you want to look at. Here's the basic directions. Click on all the links below and make sure to read each set of directions. Once you've completed all the tasks below, you are done with your work for the day. So basically, I need you to read through the course syllabus, make sure you are accountable for knowing all the information that I put in there. It's information about retakes and different things like that, our homework policy, attendance, behavior policies. There's a how to use Schoology for the first 2 weeks, what my expectations are with Schoology and what my expectations are for when you're actually in school. That'll get emailed out with the course syllabus to your parents sometime in the next few days. And then I'd like you to click onto the online textbook. This brings you to this Google Doc. I'd like you to actually log into the textbook with the username and the password to make sure that you have access on your computer, because sometimes it can get a little bit messed up with that. So please do that so that you're not scrambling one night at midnight trying to get that figured out. If you're at home, you can't obviously complete the textbook form because you don't have a textbook yet, so leave that one alone. The next thing I'd like you to do is set up the remind notifications. That's right here. Basically, you've probably used Remind before for something. I'll send you guys a remind if there's a quiz coming up the next day or a test coming up the next day, or maybe all the homework's due or something like that. I'll send you messages. You can also message me back. I think I set it up that way. So this would be a pretty reliable way. Since I do have the Remind app on my phone, I would see it and get back to you probably the fastest on that. The next thing is to do the Get to Know You activity quiz that's listed under the upcoming column 3 of the screen. You'll see that here. It's basically a 5 or 6 question quiz with just kind of some basic questions. What's your favorite color? When's your birthday? Different things like that, just so I can kind of get to know you since we aren't together on the very first day. The class is organized a few ways. You have links to everything in here, and if I can't link it, I have it explained where to find it. The other way that things might be linked, you might find things as chapter folders. So as we get through, we'll have 6 chapters per semester. So here's a chapter 1 folder. Right now it's pretty sparse. It just has PDF of all the notes in case you lose your notes packet, the cumulative scale, which we'll talk about later, a Quizlet for geometry chapter 1 flashcards. I always talk about how geometry is really kind of like a foreign language because the vocabulary is so unique. I do recommend, as we get farther into the chapter, I think I will assign that as homework, that you practice that a few times. And then eventually we'll get to formatives, and those will be sorted into the chapter as well. So don't worry about that one formative yet. You'll get to that on Thursday. So the chapter folders will also have any assignments or any notes from the day. So if you're ever sick, you can go and find the notes up here on the Google Slides or in the chapter folder. The other folder in here currently is the resources folder, and this just is a place where I store all the things that aren't chapter associated. So like the syllabus, the online textbook, the remind invite, this get to know you activity. So you can expand those folders or you can close them. I like to just expand them because then I don't have to click into the folder and I can access all the items in it. So that is how we're going to be using Schoology for these first few weeks on your days when you are at home. If you have any questions or concerns, email me or ask me in class when we've got the time. We're going to be going pretty fast through this chapter. I think the goal right now is to be testing on the very first chapter of geometry by September 21st. So we're moving through this first chapter. We'll take some more time in some of the future ones. But yeah, make sure that you can find everything, you have access to everything. If you don't, let me know. It might be because something wasn't turned on or the access wasn't granted yet. So if you ever have any concerns, I'm figuring this out with you guys. Shoot me an email and we can figure it out together. Thanks.